name is Joseph Patterson. Welcome to One Jamaica TV. This is the place of choice for all who love this country and want to see the nation succeed.
Yes, so we're going to have a little talk with our friends at Best FM this morning in another couple of minutes. And I'm looking forward to sharing with them our plans for Jamaica. I'm sure they'll have questions about the organization as well, how strong we are, how ready we are for an election when it is called, how many candidates we have, where are our candidates, who are our NP members. So lots of questions. I don't know what it will be, but I'm assuming it will be a number of questions from different aspects of the organization. I'm sure you've seen a lot of things on social media recently flying around. The UIC has been under a lot of challenges, which is to be expected. You should never be surprised, that a up and coming movement like ours is going to be under severe attack from all angles. So we must be prepared for that, and we must not be deterred. Great morning to you as well, my brother. Yes, we are warriors, and we have to remain strong and to fight back with all the energy we can muster. So there's so many things happening in Jamaica. You see the strike actions, you see the price of goods and services going up, you see the government and the opposition sparring. You don't see the UIC in the media because we're blocked out of that. We're not welcome to be a part of the regular media scene, but we're doing our work on the ground. We're trying to get our candidates to actively engage in their communities where it matters, working on the ground, building their teams of 12 and working to build their teams within their polling divisions, creating the community capital clubs on our JUMP program, and just getting to connect with and understand and empathize with the citizens of their communities, and to make sure that they're in a position when we're elected to effectively address all of the issues. After so many years, 78 years of the two major political parties, we continue to have the same basic issues year after year. You hear it all the time, roads, very basic issue. Why is it that it should take us this long to be able to fix our roads? It's an amazing question, something we should be very ashamed of. Conrad says, nothing going on in the Grill, Westmoreland. Do you have a rep for East Rural, St. Andrew? Rydem Life, I think it is asking. We have a number of persons who are being vetted for each of these positions at the moment. A lot of persons are very supportive of the UIC, but they do not want to run for office or get involved. And you have to get involved, because the truth of the matter is, if you don't get involved in the political process, we can't solve anything. If all of us sit on the sidelines and wait for somebody else to solve the problem, it's not going to be solved. Good morning, Ming Ainson. Thank you so much for your encouragement. Really appreciate it. Yes, I will not listen to the noise. There's lots of noise. We won't let the noise bother us. We'll just keep going forward. East Rural St. Andrew, Captain Burke, our VP out there, can answer you on who's out there in East Rural St. Andrew. If you see the problem in your community, step forward and offer yourself as a candidate to run. The UIC is a very different political movement or party. We're not playing politics. We're not playing the game of politics. We're here to represent and protect the interest of every single citizen in our country and in your community. So we're not here playing the game of politics. I know you're used to seeing the game where it's just a game, who can put on the best show and who can win the popularity contest, and then we suffer for the next 5 years until we have another election. As you see right now, the opposition party is putting on the show right now. They're galvanizing people to go and march. But I can assure you that if the People's National Party was in power today, they would be doing exactly the same thing as the Jamaica Labour Party is doing today. It might be done in a little different flair, but it would be the same thing. We would still have high inflation, we'll still have prices running wild, we'll still have low wages, we'll still not be able to afford to live in our own country, we'll still have a high crime rate. So it doesn't matter which of the two of them we elect, we know the outcome. We have to fix the problem at the source. And the source of Jamaica's problem is our system of governance, the structure of our system of governance, and the leadership that we have in place in our government. So we have bad leadership and we have a bad system of governance. And you have two political parties that are entrenched in that system. They are the founders of that system. They're the architect of that system. I shouldn't say that. To be honest, they're not really the architect. They are the water boy of that system. So they're carrying out a system that was designed for them and for us. Yeah. And so we have to be careful that we don't get fooled again, because they're about to fool us again, So here we have it. Right now, the realities of the situations are coming out. The realities of the harshness of the situation is coming forward. We're seeing how the economy is failing. We're seeing how young people can't find work. We're suffering from the high inflationary prices because we have bought into a monetary model that is wrong, and we continue to pursue that model. We're now talking about food security when the horse gone through the gate. The time for food security talk should have been 78 years ago, 30 years ago, 20 years ago, 10 years ago. But again, as usual, in opposition, they're going to tell us that they know everything. Just like how Andrew told you in opposition that he knew how to fix the crime problem. And then here we are today. He told you he knew how to grow the economy 7 years ago. And here we are today. He told us how he's going to fix youth unemployment 7 years ago. And here we are today. So we know we can't trust them. Yeah, I know we can't trust them. Maurice Williams is saying, I am begging you, sir, please stay focused. I'm depending on this party to change Jamaica sooner than later. Thank you, Maurice. You can be assured that I'm going to stay very focused, very, very focused. In fact, I'm not spending much time with the naysayers. Yeah. You're so right, Mr. Gordon. I see Mr. Kenrick Gordon is on. Mr. Gordon is our VP out there in the Cornwall County. Welcome. Yes. So let's be very clear. We're not into the political theater. We're not into the political theater. This is the real facts, right? Real fact. The two parties are the same. They're working for the same master. And that master is called the PSOJ oligarchy. Whenever you think about elections in Jamaica, there are only two contestants in that election. The PSOJ oligarchy versus the people of Jamaica. Those are the two contestants in the election. And based on how the electoral system is designed, the PSOJ oligarchy is destined to win unless the people of Jamaica decide that they're going to get aggressive and stand up and take back them power. We have to decide that we want to take back our country. The UIC is the People's Party. We are the movement of the people. We're not funded by the PSOJ. We're funded by you. And that is why they want to kill me. That is why they want to make sure that they decapitate me, that they destroy my character and credibility with character assassination from all directions. You have people making all kinds of statements. So their plan, my friends, is to make sure that they destroy me so that they can destroy the UIC and get the people to have nothing. So when the people come to the polls, all they want the people to see, choose JLP or PNP, knowing that no matter which one of the two you choose, you're still choosing the PSOJ oligarchy. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying anything against the private sector. The private sector is you and me. The private sector means anybody who is not within the government employ. So the private sector are all of us who do the work that pays the government, and then the government use our money and pay the public sector workers. So the private sector is you and me. And the public sector workers, when they leave the job in the evening to go home, they're private sector again, because they have to figure out how to pay the light bill, how to pay the water, how much to allocate to food, how much to allocate to education. And so every single Jamaican, every single day, are faced with private sector decisions. Private mean the decisions I make for me and my family. That's the private sector. So when you hear me talk about the PSOJ oligarchy, I'm not talking about the private sector. I'm talking about a cartel, a subsector of the private sector. A few men and women who make up a small group who, with the power of their financial capital, buy and control the political process. They buy the two major political parties, and then they control those two parties. And those two parties now act in the best interest of the private sector organization of Jamaica in terms of the small number of elites who run that operation. So every decision which is made by the government first has to get the approval of the PSOJ elites. If they do not agree with the direction of the government, then the government has to change it. Because if the government doesn't change it, they will not get the funding to be able to come back and trick you in 5 years, or at least try to trick you. So yeah, so I want to make sure that you fully understand what we're up against here. Yeah? I want you to be sure, I want you to be clear what we're up against here. We are up against magnificent forces that Joseph Patterson by himself cannot stop. And all those who want to hijack and take away the party, they're simply a part of those forces who want to stop the UIC from succeeding. They're tricksters, they're deceivers, and they want to make sure that the Jamaican people does not have a real option in the next election. They want to ensure that we're right back to square one with JLP and PNP. And yes, they will approve, not might, they will approve a few other political parties just so that the people will be confused. They will ensure that come the next election, you will have some other fanatical party out there. You'll have some 1 or 2 or 3 more, because now that the UIC broke the barrier and created a third party, because remember, in 2018, they brought in laws, and those laws eliminated all third parties because they make new regulations, new barriers to entry to prevent third parties. Of course, they didn't say it that way. They say it is to improve democracy. It is to make everything better for you. But we know better. We know that practically all the regulations you see them bring in, no matter how nice it sounds, whether they tell you about nice digital currency or nice NIDS cards or nice anything, all of it is designed against your interest, but they pretty it up to fool you. And so they have been successfully fooling us for 78 years. And the question is, will we allow them to fool us for another 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, or another 78 years? If they kill the UIC, they are killing the hopes and dreams of the Jamaican people. And they know that. They want you to depend on them so that they can continue to deceive and extract your wealth from you. Look what they're doing now. You now hear them talking about organic farming. They stole that from the UIC. We told them that this is the way to bring food security to Jamaica. They steal that, they're now running with it. It doesn't mean, though, that they're actually going to do anything with it. They're going to just take the talking points. They're going to take the words, and they're going to filter the words out into the society so that it becomes numbing. The mind becomes deadened to the thought and idea. You no longer care anymore about organic farming. After they finish with it, then they emasculate it and destroy it so that you no longer see any value in the phrase organic farming or permaculture farming. After they take all of that away, the meaning of it, make it devoid of meaning, then you will just move on. And they would have won another 5 years of your life, another 5 years of our taxes, another 5 years to destroy our students with misleading education, another 5 years to destroy our people with inappropriate and ill-advised health policies, another 5 years of leaving you with bad roads, lack of water, lack of electricity, and having all kinds of gimmicks. They'll go somewhere and cut a ribbon, we're giving somebody a house. They'll go somewhere and put up a sign, we're putting free Wi-Fi here. It's all a trick. And the funny thing is, the trick keeps working. It keeps working over and over again. And my question to you is, are you ready to stop the trick? Yeah?
UIC. Freedom of people of need. Hell yeah. Freedom of people of need. Yeah, yeah. Freedom of people of want. Freedom of people of need. Yeah, yeah. Freedom of people of want. Freedom of people of need. Yeah, yeah. Freedom of people of want. Freedom of people of need. Yeah, yeah. Real man a road. Now bow wolf in a tree grand a road. Now bow down to no demon a road. UIC when you see man a road, me say yeah. Real man a road. Now bow wolf in a tree grand a road. Now bow down to no demon a road. UIC when you see man a road. Ready for broke every chain. The one that free up the people, levitate. Jamaica member, you ever great. I feel burn up the fire upon every snake. Me give thanks in every way. God still a look down once see we safe. UIC run the road long time. JLP and PMP I sell we out. Still I do the test even though we know the end result. If them coulda kill with them catch we and hang we know. No force no coercion, me freedom in a step. No one fi rob we and kill we and feel them and go make it out. You know see the leeches, you know see the hands of the devil when him sleep with. You know see the leeches, you know see the hands of the devil when him sleep with. Yeah, real man.